7 to 8, and then ultimately end up with 4 picks in the top 85. So I do have a trade, so there's a caveat to it. Something has to happen for this to play out. And the something, I think, is a very real possibility based off what we've learned here the last couple weeks. That something is the Shedeur slip. He slides. He doesn't go 3 to the Giants. He doesn't go 9 to the Saints.
Right.
Nobody trades up in front of Denver to get him. And in fact, it's that pick at 20 where he would go. And it would be the Browns jumping back up to reunite Travis Hunter with Shedeur Sanders, and they pick number 20. They take the Broncos spot.
Yeah.
And in doing so, the Broncos take the 67th pick from Cleveland. Cleveland actually has 2 seconds and 2/3 in this. So you take the 67th pick there from Cleveland and another 3rd-round pick there. And then at 33, you know where I'm going here.
Yes.
You get Travion Henderson.
Right.
You get Travion as your running back. You've moved back 13 spots, but you've added a couple of picks. So that's your first second-round pick. Then with your second-round pick, I actually wrote down the same name you had. Terrence Ferguson, maybe he's off. Harold Fannin Jr., give you a couple of options there at tight end. Now, with that extra pick that you've got, I'm going to go Caleb Johnson with a pick right there. So you're actually landing a couple of running backs. Caleb's a little bit bigger. You can use Travion a bit more in the passing game. And is it ever a bad idea to have 2 really good running backs on the team?
You essentially got your Alvin Kamara and your Mark Ingram.
There you go. That's what I'm hoping for with the trade. Then at number 85, I look at it sort of what you did as well. Best defensive tackle, best cornerback on the board. Couple of examples here. Noel Williams, from Cal. Dude, he had 7 interceptions himself last year, and he plays outside. He's got the frame, a little bit of the length. But again, I'm not saying I'm taking Riley Moss's job. I just want some insurance for if Riley Moss doesn't take the next step in development or he gets hurt again the way he did and missed, a month last year?
Yeah.
And it hurt down the stretch. So there's a name at cornerback. The other name, if it's a defensive tackle, now forgive me, Colorado folks, the kid's from Nebraska, but Ty Robinson is a monster amongst men at 6'6" and 310 pounds. And again, I'm not watching like tape. I'm watching YouTube highlight reels, and they're all highlights. But dude, at 6'6", 310, he's athletic, he's got speed, and he can still freaking bull rush the hell out of you and just bully you on the way to the quarterback. That's the option at defensive tackle. So I've got 2 running backs. I've got another tight end, and then pick your poison. You want a cornerback or a defensive tackle there?
Yeah, cornerback, defensive tackle, because they're going to take both. I think defensive tackle needs to be a little bit higher.
Okay.
So that might take away your Caleb Johnson pick, but I like the start. I like the start of getting both those backs and both those different styles.
Could you get Caleb Johnson at 85 and just flip that around? Get nervous there?
Yeah, I'm nervous about Travion Henderson at 33, dude.
Dude, really?
The full information and full disclosure, my first mock draft will be out Thursday morning. At pick number 29, if I were to do my mock draft right now, and again, I'm circling back Wednesday night, in addition to being dialed in with the Avs, I'm going to be contacting people to see what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Pick 29 seems like Travion Henderson right now. So you're saying move back to 33, get Travion Henderson. That's a little pucker factor right there. So Caleb Johnson, 85, I don't think that happens. I don't think he'll be there. And Travion Henderson might not be there at 33. Now, maybe he is. Full disclosure, I only have 1 running back with a first-round grade, and that is Ashton Genty, the guy that everyone's sick of me talking about. Yeah, he's that awesome. You've got other backs that are really good. Actually, there's a small handful of backs that I don't really like and that I don't really like for the Denver Broncos, but if you give me Caleb Johnson, if you give me Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, like Devin Neal, who I love, like there's a lot of really solid backs that aren't named Ashton Genty that can be, huge upgrades. Obviously, it doesn't take much to be an upgrade over what you had last year, but I like your start. I think defensive tackle is picked a little bit too late for their liking. In my opinion, I believe the Broncos are going to take a defensive tackle with one of their first 2 picks, and it just might be 20.
Seeing a little bit of that is like my personal want.
Okay.
Do I run running back before a defensive tackle? Do I want a second running back before a defensive tackle? Yeah, I know that's probably not what they're looking at it as if you're a general manager, right? You got to go, well, we got the guy that's a starter. They've said they want more opportunity for that room to develop. And we'll see what that means. But this was just me going, I want 2 running backs. I want another tight end added amongst Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
And they focused on the defensive side of the ball in free agency. So therefore, I just took the opposite approach with my draft.
I think it goes running back, defensive tackle, tight end, the first 3 picks. I don't know what order.
So do you still think Travion Henderson's it's too early at 20? You're starting to change the mind a little bit?
I won't change my grade on him, and the draft is fluid, and as I've said, this is a get-your-guy draft, and I certainly don't want any more texters to be like, you hate Travion Henderson. He's my 3rd back in this class. For the love of God. If Amarian Hampton goes at 12, you bet your ass Travion Henderson could go at 20. So we have to talk about it and how the draft is going to fall. Not in any sort of, like, where's this guy graded? Where's this guy graded? Okay, Alvin Kamara graded as a 3rd-round pick. Alvin Kamara also performed like a top 10 pick. Mm-hmm. You want to be able to hit on those guys. Travion Henderson grades as a 2nd-round pick. Amarian Hampton grades as a 2nd-round pick. They could perform like top 10 players in this class in the right system and in the right fit with Sean Payton. I just think 20 for Travion Henderson, you might go defensive tackle. If you say plan A, plan B, and plan C. Remember when John Elway said, well, plan B? We don't have any plan B.
Plan A.
Plan A.
Oh. No, we don't have plan B.
That's good.
We're going plan A.
Nice.
I love the...
plan A worked out pretty well.
Love the Dove Valley laugh there, too. He said plan A. Plan B. I believe George Payton.
They were laughing at the question.
Yeah.
From my girl Lisa back in the day. That asked it.
Nice. Yeah. I like the idea of George Payton having plan A, plan B, plan C, maybe even a plan D. He's going to be ready for this draft to move. So Travion Henderson at 20, short answer is I'm not going to lose my mind.
Okay.
Would I do it? No. Would I do Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon there at 20? Yeah. I don't think he'll be there at 20. I would do Kenneth Grant at 20. Like, there are other positions I would take over Travion at 20. But if they do Travion at 20, I know you're going to be doing victory laps.
I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it.
You're not going to be on the golf course Thursday night, are you?
What's the weather?
Okay. Well, promise me this. You need a reaction video wherever you're at. And, you can disrobe if you'd like.
Take my shirt off, spin it around my head like a helicopter?
Like a helicopter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be at the golf course Thursday. I'll be there today.
Okay. Nice.
Thursday. Maybe I'll prank call you guys a whole bunch on the draft show. You and John Davis.
Right. We got another caller calling in. Either way, this is a good plan. Defensive tackle's too late.
Okay.
All right. And I forgive Ty Robinson for going to Nebraska.
Dude, when he is a monster of a man.
Yeah.
His arms, he looks like freaking Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, dude. And he plays football. It was unbelievable watching
he's a
that
beast.
dude.
He's a beast. And at 6'6", it's a different style of defensive tackle.
Like I said, he's athletic and can still run you over. Yeah, that was kind of, I was looking at mocks and looking at where defensive tackles would be when 85 comes up, and he was just right around there. He's a little early for most mocks, but I kind of had a little wishful thinking going on.
No, and that spot is probably good for him. My preference at that spot is Jordan Phillips, the Maryland kid.
Oh, you've been talking about him for a while. Yeah, I'll take that too. The
problem with 6'6" defensive tackles is they get too upright. So
you
when you get
upright, using leverage
the low man wins.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a little bit of a plan. Like I said, just a few picks into there.